I'm the second negative, I will be backing up my partner and attacking the affirmative. So to start off, the affirmative claims that the legalization of an organ market will lower the loss of life. However, if we do legalize it, it will not lower it, it'll fail to do so. Already there are cases in which all those that are in need of a transplant cannot even receive one. So this it says the study by Bazurgadzadeh, published by the American College of Surgeons, found that an increasing reluctance to perform transplants on the sickest patients is directly tied to the onset of the standards enforced by CMS. In the first 5 years after the adoption, the adoption of the standards, more than 4,300 transplant candidates were removed from the waitlist by the hospitals. That's up 86% from the 2,311 patients listed in the 5 years prior to the regulation. In addition, to put the Harvard in addition, in an article published in Harvard EDU, it says, to put waiting lists in perspective, half of all the patients on the list are already medically ineligible for a transplant anyway, too sick for the required surgery. So there are already people that can't even receive the transplants anyway. In addition, the vendors themselves will be posed to health risks and dangers even in a regulated system. So, a study of the health status of renal function of 104 Pakistani kidney vendors found poor overall health status and a high rate of hypertension and compromised renal function, suggesting that the vendors are at risk of renal impairment and failure in the long term. Also, an unpublished study involving 135 Filipino kidney vendors revealed similarly poor results, while a smaller study of 32 Moldovan victims of organ trafficking found a substantial incidence of chronic kidney disease and hypertension. Shepherd Hughes has found that many kidney sellers from Moldova, Brazil, and the Philippines endure post-operative complications, including hypertension and kidney insufficiency. So, not only that, but my opponent had mentioned that ultimately the poor will be exploited, and since the poor, if they want to be compensated since they don't have the funds, they usually do not live well off in good conditions either. So in the same book, journal, it says, living kidney donors from shanty towns, inner cities, or prisons face extraordinary threats to their health and personal security through violence, accidents, and infectious disease that all too can readily compromise their remaining kidney. So, not only that, but since there's not only one life that's at stake. There's two: the donor and the one receiving the transplant. Also, they said that money will be a good motivator for having more donations and people selling their organs. However, when money is at stake, dishonesty will arise, thus increasing additional health risks. So they mentioned that in the Philippines there are already there's an organ market, but so I'll mention again what a living donor candidate should be. So they should be in good physical condition, mental health, free from high blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, HIV, hepatitis, or organ-specific diseases, and should be at least 18 years old. A good donor should also be willing to donate. No one should feel that they must donate. They will be well informed and they should have good support and have no alcohol or substance abuse problems. But in the Philippines, it says in the journal release that says Assessing the Likely Harms to Kidney Vendors in Regulated Organ Markets, published by the American Journal of Bioethics. Prospective vendors in the Philippines' compensated organ donation programs, for example, have attempted to circumvent selection criteria by concealing hypertension and other illnesses by taking antihypertensive medications, submitting others' urine, and dishonestly reporting medical history. So although there may be a regulated system, there are going to be people that are going to look through loopholes and make the trade unethical.